landmark day for the club. You must be delighted.
Delighted with the news. It's momentous day. It is. We've been waiting for it a long time. When you think back to when the planning was originally passed at locally, and then we sat through 2 weeks of public inquiry, and went every day and made sure we were supporting it. We had to give evidence, which took 2 days. So yeah, it's been a big chunk of our lives, and for the supporters and for the club, it is a massive achievement.
And the emotion for everyone, I suppose, relief and excitement.
Yeah, and I mean relief probably not as much for us who've possibly been in the know in terms of we didn't know what the answer was going to be, but we've known how well planned this process has been. You only have to look at the LDF coming out last week and the fact that the developer and the council have worked side by side on this to make sure that what he's putting in his planning fits the framework of what the district needs. And you know, the warehousing is vital to the future of employment. It's going to create 2,000 jobs, and that was very smartly done in terms of the planning officers giving the putting the right things in. And when the decision came to pull it out of Greenbelt and make it the enabling development, then starts to fall into place. And at that point, everyone starts to feel confident. And then with the delay, there was lots of hysteria, and we're just pleased that it's come through.
Have you always been confident then?
I think I have. In you know, I'm possibly numb to getting knee-jerk reactions. When you work in the sports industry, you know that things can change so easily, and the club's recent history and what it's been through, and the fact that probably the first stadium project that I saw was in 1997, and these things never come simply. But this one had legs, this one had funding, this one had the backing of the council, had a developer who was willing to build it. So you can gain confidence in that, and the fact that it was put together in a way that it was enabling development. In many ways, you look at the successful ones, St Helens and Warrington and Salford, and they've all had these elements to it. So we're very pleased that that's there, and we're just looking forward to getting into the nitty-gritty of getting it built now.
And obviously the most significant step in the story, in the progress so far.
Yeah, the most significant. It allows us to go out there with confidence to the playing market, to the commercial market, and say, come and join us. We're not going to be operating out of a 130-year-old stadium that's costing us a fortune in maintenance, and we've spent a lot of money on making the hospitality suites good, but it still pales into insignificance of a world-class 21st century facility. So we're really pleased, we're really proud with what's been achieved today. The players celebrated as they got the decision through, and a happy club makes for a happy team, and the coaching staff are buoyant, the players are buoyant, they're very confident, and if we can keep delivering on the pitch and keep delivering off it, people will buy into us, people will come back. The latent support that's in the area will start to come and watch us again, and it's all cyclical. The more people that come and watch, the more excited people get, the better that we perform, and we can be a force in Super League again.
You mentioned going out to those commercial markets as well. Is that the next step? Then that's what you need to do in the near future, I suppose.
Yeah, we've got to make the club sustainable. We've worked very hard to get to where we are today from a year ago. And the investment that the chairman Andrew Glover's put in to get us to this point, you know, is no mean feat, and to put your name to that. So it's a great day for him to be able to get a return on some of that investment and know that there's a great future ahead. But it does open the door. You know, if people want to come and be involved with a club that's going to play out of world-class facilities, then if you're a construction company, or if you're a company that's going to work and want to do some electrical work, a fit-out company, it massively makes us more appealing. There'll be architects wanting to get involved with us. So there's lots of things already in line. There's lots of things that are going to drop into place because of the planning. But we've also got to get out there and work hard now. We've got to make sure that we're on the front foot. We're knocking on people's doors, whether that's spectators, commercial partners, and making sure that people are proud to be associated with the club.
Is there still a relatively long way to go, would you say, in the process, or are you confident that things are in place to go along that road?
Lots of things are in place. You know, people will be expecting, right, we've got the planning, when are we building, you know, the diggers on the way, but no, there's like with anything, there's legals to get right, there's the planning paperwork to get right, there's designs, there's final say on what's going to go on the site. We've got to look at what other partners want to be involved. So I'd say there's probably 12 months before we even settle down into what the final pitch is going to look like, what we're going to have in it, how it's going to work, and then there's a 56-week build of the actual stadium. So we've got some fairly realistic targets in that we hope to be playing out of there in 2015. And you know, we've waited so long, so to rush the process now and create any false dawns would be the wrong thing to do. So we have to line everything up properly, remain professional throughout, and get the stadium right, and make sure that it fits fit for purpose for what we all want to achieve.
Is that hard to balance sometimes? Because as you say, I think you're right, and fans see this stage today and they'll look at build starting immediately. Do you have to almost just compose yourselves and not get ahead of yourself and just make sure you do the right things at the right time?
We've always maintained that we'll be transparent, realistic and honest with our supporters and our sponsors, and I think that's what we'll continue to do. We won't be getting excited. We'll try and keep them grounded like we've done up to press, and give them the information that they need to know what's happening with the club. As long as people know, as long as people are aware, they can enjoy the last few moments that they'll have at Bellevue. They can enjoy a full season and the next season of playing out of the stadium and start to look at the memories and know that they're going to a brighter future. And instead of looking at the old dear and blaming it for everything that's got wrong with the club in the recent times, they can reminisce a little bit. And, you know, I was talking to the coach this morning about the Olympic torch comes to Wakefield on Monday. You look back in the history of what's actually happened at this stadium, and the guy who did the, I can't remember his name, not the notoriously famous one, but the guy who was with him on the Black Power salute at the Olympics, actually came and did some sprinting against some of the players, and did a community activity with a load of school kids on Bellevue. So it's, you know, there is a fantastic and rich history, and we must celebrate that, and we'll make sure that it's treated and respected in the right way, and then great, we'll get out and look forward to being in fantastic world-class facilities.
And yourself and Andrew must be pretty proud at this moment.
We are. A lot of hard working. There's lots of people who've gone into this. You know, it's not just down to the work the club has done, or myself and Andrew has done, so Rodney Walker and the Community Trust and the work that they've done, Swag, and also, you know, the work that the previous board of the club put in before that to start this process. Everyone, the spectators, 20,000 people signed a petition, 5,000 people wrote a different letter to the Secretary of State to say what the support is. There's people been walking around, knocking on doors and in the local area around where the site is to try and get this off the ground. So there's been such a groundswell of support for it, and I eternally thank those people for giving up the time and coming along and cheering in the courts, in the council offices, and on the day that we got planning. And it has been a long process, a lot of emotion attached to it, and we've still got a long way to go. So they're going to have to stick with us for another while, and then we'll all celebrate when it's open.
Brilliant.